Hello and welcome to the Villa Park podcast. It's me, Rich, and I'm back with an instant match reaction to Aston Villa 1, Crystal Palace 2, and that is Aston Villa out of the Carabao Cup yet again at the fourth round stage, the last 16 stage, and sloppy mistakes saw Villa exit the cup in a game that really, I know we made changes and we'll look at the starting lineup, we'll go through the game, but really a game that team should have been putting up a little bit more of a fight, should have been potentially winning. Yes, Crystal Palace did go out strong, but they lost as the game went on, lost two of their main players. And we were just sloppy, lots of poor passing. You could tell a number of players not featuring too much in the first team, and that really told in the game. But we still had opportunities to win it. We still had opportunities to play final passes that just weren't on. We still made two really, really sloppy mistakes that we got punished for. And ultimately, you can't make those mistakes and expect to go through. Let's have a look at the starting lineup. Obviously, we knew that changes would be made. Unai Emery said he was going to make a lot of changes in the earlier rounds of these competitions. But when you look at that team, Gauci, Nedeljkovic, Carlos, Mings, Maatsen, Kamara and McGinn as that base of the central midfield area. Then you've got Philogene and Buendia, Leon Bailey out on the right, and John Duran up front. You're thinking that is still a strong team. Now, the bench was very weak, was very young and inexperienced. Obviously, only Matty Cash, Lamar Bogard, Jacob Ramsey with any real first-team experience. So it was going to be that first 11 that we're going to have to make the game, decide the game, and ultimately potentially bring younger players on later on. But look, we started the game okay. One or two little efforts. Leon Bailey had a good effort that just went wide. Didn't manage to catch it enough. But it was Crystal Palace that took the lead. Eberici Eze with the header from across from Muniz, but it was Boubacar Kamara losing the ball, giving the ball away in the midfield area that started it, and then poor marking in the box meant that Eze just had a free header to head it past Gauci in the net, and it's 1-0 Crystal Palace. But then we did settle down. We started to play some good football. Players started to get on the ball a little bit more. Maatsen was getting forward. Kamara was settling down. Tyrone Mings on his returns was a little bit rusty at the start, but started to get on the ball a little bit more. John McGinn was getting into areas and into spaces, and we equalised after a lovely move. Ball, I think, came in from a set piece and then came back out again. Crystal Palace made a mistake at the back. Leon Bailey gets it on the right-hand side, takes his man on, cuts it back to John Duran, who takes quite a heavy touch, and Emi Buendia is running in onto it as well. But Duran's not going to let him have the shot. Hits the ball with the left foot. Keeper should do better with it, Turner, but it goes into the bottom corner, and there we go. The man himself scores again his 8th goal of the season in all competitions, and everything he touches turns to goals. And yeah, really, really good goal from John Duran. Really good finish. And again, started to play some good stuff. Duran has another opportunity, gets him down that left-hand side this time, strikes the ball with his left foot, bounces back out of the goalkeeper, and Emi Buendia can't quite put it in. Leon Bailey has another shot from sort of 25 yards, and he's looking a bit better, taking some nice touches, doing some flicks and tricks and getting the ball 1v1. And he has a shot from 25 yards that just goes straight into Matt Turner's hands. But it was much better that second half. Eze had to go off. Adam Wharton had to go off as well. So those were two of Crystal Palace's main players. And Villa maybe should have taken a little bit more advantage of that. But going in at halftime 1-1, and you think, right, come out second half, with those changes that Palace have been forced to make, we should go on and win the game. And we almost scored right from the kickoff. Kamada makes a bad pass back to Gay. John Duran is on it like a flash, takes a touch, hits the shot, hits the snapshot from just outside the box, possibly going wide, maybe going into that top corner, but the goalkeeper tips it around the post. And yeah, it was a good effort. But as that half wore on, Crystal Palace started to get into it a little bit more, settle down into it a little bit more. And those players that Villa had that maybe haven't had that first team experience, particularly the likes of Emi Buendia, particularly the likes of Jadon Philogene, just started to make more and more mistakes, started to get pushed off the ball. Nedeljkovic was getting pushed off the ball quite a lot, and his physicality really does need to improve. He's got a lot of speed, he can make good runs, but players just have to touch him and he's knocked off the ball. And they started to get more territory. While they weren't getting too many shots, they were getting more territory. But to be honest, the goal that they scored was just by our own doing. Poor passing. Gauchi has the ball and he's doing his usual that Martinez does, where he holds it and waits for one of their players to make a move. He plays it out to Tyrone Mings. He plays it back to the goalkeeper. Then the goalkeeper plays it out to Carlos. I think the goalkeeper, plays it into Kamara, actually in the middle. Kamara plays it out to Carlos, and Carlos is looking for John McGinn, and it's a difficult ball to pass. I don't know why he just doesn't play it out to Costa Nedeljkovic, but plays it into John McGinn, overhits the pass. McGinn can't control it. It goes to Kamara. He takes it on and then takes the extra touch to make the Villa players sort of off balance, make the goalkeeper off balance, and then puts it through Kamara's legs, who's going in for the tackle, and down past Gauchi in the net. And that was it, 2-1. And ultimately then Palace have got the lead to hold on to. It's the second half. It's going to be more and more difficult for Villa. Their players are getting tired, and we just couldn't break them down. We had one or two half chances, one or two efforts. John Duran had an effort where Maatsen carried the ball from deep, let him carry it, and he hit the shot. It bounces off. I don't know if it's a combination of the goalkeeper and the defender. Bounces back out to John Duran on the half volley or on the volley, but it's too close for him. It's a reaction shot and he hits it wide. But apart from that, I can't recall Villa having any chances really to get back into it, any really good chances. Jadon Philogene had an effort that again went straight into the goalkeeper's hands. We had 5 corners. We didn't threaten off any of those corners, and it was a bit of a drab performance after their goal, and they just sat back in and just picked us off. They didn't really, again, have any opportunities, didn't need to. But Emi Buendia, again, well, not again, but disappointing in an opportunity that he had today to maybe make a marker for a first team spot. Very poor on the ball, very poor decision making. You can tell hasn't had many minutes, and just couldn't quite make the right pass. And even if he had the ball not under pressure, he'd make the wrong pass. If he was under pressure, he'd receive it back to goal and just get pushed off the ball. Jadon Philogene had ample opportunity to cross the ball into the box. He beat his man 2 or 3 times and didn't put the ball in the box, trying to beat him again or cut back and just get the ball in the box. We've got John Duran in the box. He can win headers. He can score goals. Why not just put the ball in the box? So that was really, really frustrating. And as I said, Nedeljkovic, easily pushed off the ball too often. And the substitutions we made, the young boys came on. Bogard, who looked quite good when he came on, but isn't going to make any difference. Jimo Aloba, again, quite weak, and Caden Young, but they didn't have enough time to really do anything. To be honest, had a little effort at the end where it could have been a handball potentially, but Mark Gay blocked it, but it was very, very hopeful. And yeah, we go out with the cup with a bit of a whimper, to be honest. Yes, Villa fans may say we have got bigger fish to fry. Absolutely. Champions League, Premier League, and we've got to manage this squad. But it's disappointing to lose like that. It's disappointing to lose with a whimper, and I hate losing like that, where the team don't do themselves justice. The team that's put out there should be performing better. We shouldn't give away soft, cheap goals like that. You want to give away, if you're going to give away a goal, you want it to be a 25-yarder or something where the team have had to really work hard to score. They didn't have to work hard to score those goals, and that's what's really disappointing me. And some of the performances of players that have been good for us and want to come in and challenge for that first team spot, and they didn't take their chance. Positives, though, I thought Boubacar Kamara did well in his first start. I thought he managed the game well, and You can see some of those touches that he's got. Yes, he gave the ball away in the first half that led to the first goal. But apart from that, I thought he moved the ball well. I thought he was trying things, and I thought he was picking up tackles and winning the ball in the areas like he does. And I think Tyrone Mings did pretty well. He had a rusty sort of first 15 minutes, but to go through 90 minutes again, I thought he did pretty well. And against Mateta, who's a tough player to mark, I thought he did okay. So that's a positive for me, Mings and Kamara. But overall, I'm disappointed. Yes, as I say, you can counter it with the fact that we've got Tottenham away and he's managed to rest a number of players, the likes of Tielemans, Watkins, Barkley. Matty Cash didn't come on. Jacob Ramsey didn't come on. And Onana didn't play. So he's managed to rest a number of players that will be back in the squad and back in the team on Sunday. But when it comes later on down the line and you're not in these cup competitions, that's where it becomes disappointing. And we can't seem to go on a really good cup run under Unai Emery, and that's what's the disappointing. When you bring these players in from the squad, you want them to take their chance. You want them to show that they should be in the first team, but making sloppy and silly mistakes like that, or being a bit too weak in the tackle, or not competing, that's where you know they've got a long, long way to go. Anyway, we will be back for match preview for the Tottenham game later this week. We've also got a special in the away end with fantastic Tottenham fan channel coming up very soon. So make sure you stay tuned to the channel. Make sure you hit that like button, hit the subscribe button as well. Yes, we've lost, but make sure you help us on the road to 5K. Get your comments in below, your thoughts on today's game, your thoughts on who played well, who didn't play well, who hasn't done themselves any favours, or who you think could be pushing for that first team spot. And yeah, thank you all for watching. And as always, remember, we'll follow the Villa.